All right, what is going on, everybody? Happy Friday. Hopefully, you're having a fantastic day. We've got a full 15-game MLB slate. We're going to talk about every game as always, and I have 5 best bets for you guys. So, recap, no video yesterday, just felt terrible. Still don't feel amazing today, but good enough to do some research and get a video out. So, we'll talk about that. But the day before, we'll recap that awful day. We went 1-4, down 3.06 units. So we had built up a lot of great momentum, a lot of winning days in a row. So kind of sucks. I think it was back to back, but day before was like a quarter unit. But need a good Friday here. So we're going to take a couple of plus money plays here. Got some good picks for you guys. But let's talk kind of what is going on in the MLB. So we don't have a lot of games left. Teams either have 15 or 16 games left. So we are coming down to the end here, and we do have some interesting races. We'll kind of start in the AL East. So we've got the Blue Jays 3 games ahead of the Yankees. We have the Red Sox only a half game back of the Yankees. Yankees and Red Sox are playing each other in Fenway, so pretty important series there. We've got the Rays, who are pretty much out of it. They will be out of it here in the next game or two. And then we move on to the Central, where we have the Tigers sitting atop the Central, 8.5 games up. So they've almost got this division locked up. Should happen pretty shortly. We've got the Guardians 3.5 games back of the wild card, technically still in the hunt. Royals are 5 games back. Again, technically in the hunt. 5 is probably too big of a deficit to come back from. We move to the West. We've got the Astros and the Mariners tied for the division lead. So they have some important series coming up. Mariners are playing the Angels, and the Astros are on the road playing the Braves. We look at the wild card. The Rangers are 2 games back in the wild card. So a couple of interesting races there. Let's go to the NL. So we've got the Phillies that are 11 games up on the Mets now after that impressive sweep. So they have pretty much clinched their division. We've got the Mets that are in the wild card race, but man, they have lost 6 straight games, and they've got the Reds and the Giants only a game and a half back. Now for the Reds, it's important. If you remember, on opening day, they had a walk-off loss. That could be very imperative, as wild card tiebreakers are deemed by the regular season series, and the Giants hold the edge. So the Reds have to outbeat the Giants and the Mets. So important race there. And we've got the Dbacks only 3 games back. So they're still in it. And the Padres are the Cardinals are 4 games back. So technically still in the wild card hunt. In the NL West, we have the Dodgers, who have a 2.5 game lead over the Padres. Padres have just not looked amazing. Dodgers are playing an important series against the Giants. So this setting up to be an interesting weekend in terms of the playoff race. But let's get into this card, start talking about it a little bit. First game kicking us off in Chi-Town is going to be the Cubbies and the Rays. Shane Baz going up against Matthew Boyd, kicking us off at 2:20 p.m., so the only day game on the card. This is one, man, I just can't get behind Baz. Rays have lost 5 of the last 6 games on the road that Baz has started. Matthew Boyd's been fantastic at home. Cubs are 10-3 when he is on the bump. However, they've lost 2 of the last 3. They just haven't seemed to find their way with their offense yet. Weather in Wrigley today, it's going to be a decent day. We're going to get 75 degrees, and we've got a slight wind basically blowing right to left. There's not too much in terms of, amount, but Wrigley, anything counts in terms of the wind. It is going to be slightly blowing out. This is one, I like the Cubs, but I think it's too tight. And I can't pay this price. So it would be Tampa Bay on the run line, plus 1.5 would be the only way I would play it. Just don't, like I said, can't trust this Chicago Cubs offense, but I don't love this matchup for the Rays either. So game that I will personally be fading. Next game is going to be the Pirates and the Nationals. So this is going to be Mitch Keller going up against Brad Lord. I like the way Brad Lord has looked. I think the Nats are live in this one. It's truly a pick'em because it's 2 teams that are out of it. Doesn't matter. Nats at home this season are 29-42. Not impressive, but the Pirates on the road are even worse at 22-50. Pirates have lost 6 straight games. Nationals have lost their last 2, but they are 7-3 in their last 10. It's a coin flip game here. I like the Pirates in this one. I just don't trust either of these teams, but I do trust Mitch Keller just a little bit more. But like I said, it's a coin flippy kind of game. I do lean towards the over here. In terms of the weather at Nationals Park, wind is going to be blowing in slightly from right field. Nothing too concerning there with the weather. Next game, Kansas City and Philly. Oof, man, Philly, nice comeback yesterday, down 4-0. Found a way to win. It's going to be Michael Lorenzen going up against Walker Buehler. Buehler's going to be making his Phillies debut after getting released by the Red Sox here. Phillies are going to go with kind of a six-man type of rotation here coming in. Royals have won 6 straight games with Lorenzen on the road. 5 of the 6 have gone over. Don't love the pitch mix here for Lorenzen. It's quite awful, but I don't trust Walker Buehler either. Pretty simple play for me today. Wind's going to be blowing out at Citizens Bank Park. Home runs are going to be up almost 20%. Give me the over. 2 pitchers that I have no faith in. Lorenzen's got a 1.33 whip. Buehler's got a 1.56 whip. In terms of home runs per 9, they are both awful. 1.5. and 1.76 respectively here. 30-day splits look terrible. Give me the over. Phillies are absolutely on fire right now. You're getting a good price to take them at minus 130. I just trust runs, so give me the over 9 as my best bet in this one. Do lean Phillies on the money line. Next game is going to be Baltimore and Toronto, so big series for Toronto here. Baltimore's obviously out of it. Not a great season. 69-77 on the season. But this is going to be Trevor Rogers going up against Chris Bassett. Great pitching matchup here. Blue Jays, great track record with Chris Bassett. 12-3 when Bassett is pitching at home. 4-0 when Bassett is going up against a lefty. However, Orioles are 7-2 on the road with Trevor Rogers on the mound. They've won 6 of their last 7 of his starts on the road. The play I like in this one, give me the Nerfy. Chris Bassett 14-1 at home this season on the Nerfy. Trevor Rogers 8-1 on the road to the Nerfy. 2 teams that are really struggling with the sticks. You've got the Orioles hitting a sweet 172 over the past week with a 53 WRC plus against righties. Blue Jays against lefties have been struggling, 235 over the last 2 weeks, 237 over the past week. Like I said, give me the Nerfy in this one. In terms of who wins the game, I think it's Toronto. It's not a terrible price to pay. I think it's a pretty low-scoring affair. I do lean to the under 8, probably a first 5 under just to be safe. But 2 bullpens that I think can be a little volatile at times. Next game is going to be the Tigers and the Marlins. Going to be Tariq Skubal going up against Sandy Alcantara. Now, Sandy's had a couple of really good starts, but last start wasn't really one of them. Gave up 3 to the Phillies. When he faces better teams, he just doesn't perform well. Pitches decent against the subpar teams. Pretty easy play here. Give me the Tigers on the run line, minus 1.5. Love that we can back them because they are guaranteed to get those 9 ABs. I've got the final score here pretty high. Over 6.5 is definitely a strong lean as well. I think the Tigers probably get at least 5 here in this one. So Tigers on the run line. We're going to take that today. Next game is going to be Texas and the Mets. Interesting game, interesting lines. Jacob deGrom going up against Jonah Tong. Quite the pitching edge to the Rangers. That said, they just haven't been hitting. So I don't want to trust them here. You're getting great value to back deGrom. You've got a Mets team that's reeling. They've lost 6 in a row, 3-7 in their last 10. That said, they are 3-1 in the first game of a series at home after a road series. So there is a little bit of a bounce back effect there. And the Rangers just haven't really been great with deGrom on the road. They're 5-8 this season. So you have made a really nice profit fading deGrom on the road. And this is an important series for the Mets, right? The Rangers are still technically in it as well. So this game has a lot of meaning. I think that's why we see the total of 8. I do kind of lean towards the under here. That said, I don't trust either bullpens. They've been really bad. So that's the only thing that scares me away from that. A play I like here, I said this the last time Tong started, and it smacked real easy. Jonah Tong, 3+ walks. You can get that at plus 175. He had 4 walks in his last outing, and he did get hit up a little bit by the Reds. So Reds are not a team that walks a ton. If we look over the last week, this has been a very patient Texas team. They've got almost a 15% walk rate. That is best in baseball. Last 2 weeks, they have a 10% walk rate. That is third best. So Tong, 3+ walks at plus 175. Probably something that makes my card today in some form. I'll probably play it a little bit. I do think there is some value there. Next game is going to be the Yankees and the Red Sox. Again, huge series here. Yankees have been dominated by Boston this season. They are 2-8 against Boston. Now, they did win the last game, but they had lost the previous 8 games. So I don't have a lot of faith here. We did just see this matchup on August 21st in New York, where the Red Sox won 6-3. So I do lean towards the Red Sox here. Luis Gil, I just don't have faith in him. His walk rate is insane right now. He's got almost a 15% walk rate. So, Gil over 2.5 walks feels like a great play as well. I might just put together a walk parlay today and just do Gil and Tong 3+ walks. Just kind of thinking outside the box here. But yeah, I got to trust Boston here at home. In terms of the weather at Fenway, the wind is going to be slightly blowing out, and it's going to be 64 degrees. So a little on the cooler side, starting to feel like some playoff baseball weather here. This is definitely one I lean towards the over 8.5. I just don't trust Gil in this situation. Question is, will the Boston bats wake up? We saw the Yankees finally put up some runs yesterday, but my God, we saw it in that Tigers series. That bullpen is not great. They can definitely blow a game with the best of them. So it would be the over first, and then lean Red Sox on the money line. The next game is going to be the White Sox and the Guardians. It is going to be Martin Perez going up against Tanner Bibee. This is just a team... This Guardians team, man, I don't love them, and I definitely don't love them with Bibee on the mound. Like it or not, this is a White Sox team that is heating up. They are 8-2 in their last 10. They've won 2 straight. You've got a Guardians team that's also, we'll say, heating up a little bit. They're 7-3 in their last 10. Did win their last game against Kansas City. This is one where I like the White Sox on the first 5. I think Perez, the lefty, should be able to contain this lineup. He does pretty well against lefties, 154 average over the last 30 days, 194 to righties. It's just one. Give me the White Sox at plus money. We're getting decent plus money here to take the White Sox on the first 5. I don't want to take them full game just simply because Cleveland has a massive bullpen edge. I don't trust this White Sox bullpen whatsoever. They got a 5.64 ERA over the last 30 days. That is third worst in baseball. So huge bullpen advantage to the Guardians, but give me the White Sox on the first 5 as one of our best bets. Houston and Atlanta. So no pitcher named yet. Probably going to be a staff day for the Astros, like AJ Blue Ball or whatever his name is. Probably going to be pitching in this one. Going up against Hurston Waldrep. Now, we finally saw Waldrep become human. But that said, there's just an interesting trend here. And when teams are leaving Toronto, they just don't perform well. They're 2-8 in that first game on the road after leaving Toronto. So this is one I like the Braves here at plus money. Now, the Astros are playing for meaningful ball here, but I think the Braves at home with Waldrep, just too good a value. I don't really trust the Astros bats right now. That said, Braves have been hitting awful. Don't get me wrong. They're hitting 181 against righties over the last 2 weeks, 203 over the past week. But this is just a spot here where I think we got to take our shot here at plus money. Give me the Braves on the money line here. Cardinals and the Brewers. This is one. We've got Andre Palante going up against Quinn Priester. You just can't trust Palante on the road. He's lost. Cardinals have lost 6 straight of his road starts. He's just been abysmal on the road pretty much all season. He's got a 5 ERA going up against Quinn Priester. Now, Quinn Priester's he's a bit of a magic man. He doesn't pitch well. He has an insane amount of non-quality starts where he's still getting wins because his offense is backing him. But that said, I think the play here is Milwaukee on the alternate -1. You can get that at like -136. Over under of 8.5. I think that's pretty appropriate. I'm not going to play that, but it would be the Brewers -1 for me. Maybe use them as a dance partner. Just can't simply trust Palante. But both of these teams on kind of a bit of a streak here, and it's not a good streak. They both lost 3 games coming into this series. Both of them are 4-6 in their last 10, but the Brew Crew just too good at home at 46-26. Cardinals 31-41 on the road. So pretty easy for me to take the Brewers here. Next game, speaking of this is not so easy. It's going to be the Dbacks and the Twins. So you've got the Dbacks playing meaningful baseball again. Like I said, just 3 games back of the wild card. You got Brandon Pfaadt going up against Pablo Lopez. I think there's going to be a lot of money on the Dbacks today. We can see it with the public split here. 86% of the money are on the Dbacks. But that said, got to be careful with Pfaadt. Dbacks are 5-9 on the road with Pfaadt starting, and they've lost 4 straight. They've lost 6 of their last 7 when he is pitching. Pablo Lopez at home has been fantastic. Twins have not lost yet this season with Lopez on the bump. They are 4-0. Looked good in his first start back from injury. Went 6 strong innings. So this is a spot. You never know what the hell's going to happen after the starting pitchers go out with these 2 teams. These are 2 of the worst bullpens. They're really, really bad. But it would be the Twins for me, actually. But there's no way in hell I'm paying this price for the Twins. So it would probably be like Twins -1, Twins first 5 on the run line, something like that. But just not a game I personally want to touch. I mean, there is value taking the D-backs, but whew, man, it's just which bullpen's going to have a blow up. That's what that series is. All right, next one's going to be the Rockies and the Padres. Going to be Tanner Gordon against J.P. Sears. Man, J.P. Sears, not somebody I trust. That said, Rockies over the last 2 weeks really haven't been able to hit lefties too well. I won't say the last week. Last 2 weeks they haven't been terrible, but past week they've been absolutely awful. 2-0 win for the Padres yesterday. Padres just can't really get their offense going here. I think the Rockies are live in this one. I think at this price, only way you can play this would be the Rockies on the money line. I have no faith in J.P. Sears, like zero faith. Maybe Rockies first 5, something like that, but not going to play this game, but it would be the Rockies. Next game is going to be the Reds and the A's. Like I said, the Reds are in the hunt, 1.5 games back of the Mets, and they get the Athletics. Not a bad spot here. Athletics are 12 games under 500 this season at 30-42 at home. Reds are 4 games under 500 on the road at 34-38, but they've won 2 straight, 6-4 in their last 10, and they're sending Brady Singer to the bump. Singer's been good. We look at his starts, gave up 1 to the Mets, gave up 3 to the Cardinals, but then he gave up 1 to the D-backs, 1 to the Angels, none to the Phillies. So coming off some pretty good starts, and I believe it's going to be JT Ginn on the other side. No pitcher has been officially announced, but it looks like it should be Ginn. Ginn at home has just not been good. We look at his last 3. Actually, let's look at his last 4 home starts. Rangers, he gave up 5. Tigers, he gave up 3. Tampa Bay, he gave up 5. Arizona, he gave up 4. So this is not he doesn't pitch well at home, and the wind's going to be blowing out. This is a guy that's got a 1.89 home runs per 9. Brady Singer's at 0.84, and he pitches in Great American Small Park. So pretty impressive there. Definitely seen him turn here. It would be the Reds on the money line for me at plus 102. I think we're getting good value. I think it's really strange and feels a bit trappy in my opinion, but when Ginn has been pitching at home, the A's have lost 4 of their last 5 games. So don't trust him whatsoever. Like I said, it would be the Reds for me, but the A's are swinging some hot bats. So I think the over 10 is very, very live in this one as well. So I would probably go with the over and then the Reds on the money line. 2 more games left here. Angels and the Mariners. Yusei Kikuchi going up against Luis Castillo. Pretty easy play. Fade Kikuchi on the road. He is terrible on the road. And this is a Mariners team that is heating up against lefties. Actually, the best team in baseball over the past week. Second best over the past 2 weeks. But Castillo should give up some runs here. I think the over in this one is very live as well. Over 7.5, I think is an auto play with these 2 pitchers. I just don't play. I don't play over under totals at this park. It's just not been kind to me. But I would take the over. Price on the Mariners is a little absurd with Castillo on the mound, so that's why I can't get there. But I'm not backing the Angels. All right, next one's going to be the Dodgers and the Giants. Last game on the card. We get Yamamoto going up against Verlander. Again, Giants very much in the wild card hunt, game and a half back. We've got the Dodgers, couple games up in the West, so very meaningful series here. This is a very hot Giants team, one of the best swinging teams in the land right now, but they're throwing Justin Verlander out there. I can't get on board with that. But that said, the Dodgers price is just way too high, so really can't get on board with this. It would be the over 7.5 would be the only way I would play this game. All right, let's get into our best bets, get you guys on your way. Appreciate you guys tuning in to the channel. First bet today is going to be the Royals and the Phillies over 9. Again, we've got Lorenzen and Buehler. Let's not overthink this here. Orioles and the Blue Jays, we're going to take the Nerfy. Just great track record with both of these guys between Rogers and Bassett. We're going to take the White Sox on the first 5, trusting Martin Perez to throw us a little gem and Tanner Bybee just to be Tanner Bybee. Just do what he does. We're going to take the Tigers on the run line on the road against the Fish. What a beautiful spot here. And then we're going to take the Braves on the money line. Again, just too many trends there that says teams that leave Toronto just don't play well in that first game of that next road series. So we're going to lean into that trend at some plus money. Again, some other leans, gave you guys a bunch of other leans. Reds on the money line was one I had on the card and took it off, just so you know. So it was very close to making the card. And then the Jonah Tong walks, Luis Heel walks, 2 pretty strong leans I have for today as well. So appreciate you guys tuning into the video, and we'll catch you in the next one.